Welcome back. Now let us have a look at the new words and the language that we are going to use. I'm not going to explain this. I will explain it when I get to the content that is dealing with this words and the language. We are going to look at the proportion, constant relationship, linear graph, dependent variable, as well as the independent variables. Okay, now we are starting with the first content. The first content is constant relationship. Constant relationship occurs when dependent variable remains constant while the independent variable increases. So I hope you still remember what dependent variable is and what the independent variable is. I'm going to explain it as we get to the values. But I just want to say the independent variable is a variable which is classified as discrete or continuous. And when we talk about the independent variable is the variable which does not depend on another one. So the dependent variable is the one which is always at the bottom of the row of the table, whereas the independent is on the top row of the table. I think this is very important as well to take note of, so that when you get your table, you know that on top I'm having the independent, at the bottom I'm having the dependent. The ones at the bottom are depending on the ones which are on top. And now, remember we said the discrete data is the data that can be counted, and the continuous is the one that can be measured. Okay, so what is key again is that when we look at the graph of constant relationship, will be a straight line which is parallel to the horizontal axis. So you will see that as we draw it, because the relationship is just constant, it is not changing. The only thing which is changing is the independent variable. And remember, the independent variables are the ones which are drawn on the horizontal axis. Okay. Let us take a look at the first example. The parking rate on weekends at the mall is fixed for a minimum number represented on the table. Use the table to answer the following questions. So according to this table, it means that when you park for 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4, 5, 6, you still pay the same amount. It doesn't matter how long you are going to stay. As long as you don't exceed 6 hours, you are going to pay 25 rand only. This is what we mean by the fixed or the constant amount. What is the maximum number of hours covered by the fixed rate? So the maximum number of hours which is covered by this fixed rate, I think everyone can see that it is 6 hours. This covers up to 6 hours. Once you exceed 6 hours, then you pay more than 25 rand. Okay, determine the dependent variable. Remember what I said. I said what you find on the top row is the independent variable. And what you find at the bottom row, at the lower row, is what is called the dependent variable. So our dependent variable is therefore the cost. The next question, find the value of A. So for us to find the value of A, the value of A is the amount which will be paid if someone has parked for 4 hours. But I think looking at the context, you can see that if somebody parked, as long as the time does not exceed 6 hours, the amount is the same. Therefore, the value of A is 25 rand. So I think with the constant relationship, it's easy, it's understandable. Everyone understands. Okay, let us move to the next question, which is a practice question. Thuli and 2 friends attended a music festival for 4 hours, and the entrance fee was 900 rand per trio. Remember, trio means 3 people. How much will they pay for 3 hours. So if this amount, if 900 rand is the amount which is meant for 4 hours, it means if they stay in the festival for 1 hour, they will pay the same amount. 2 hours, the same amount. 3 hours, same amount. As long as they did not exceed 4 hours, it is still the same amount. The answer is 900 rand. The second question. Identify the type of relationship represented by the cost per hour. So now looking at this relationship, because the amount becomes the same, it's fixed regularly, we can say it is fixed or it is a constant relationship. The next question. What is the maximum time they can spend at the concert? The maximum time they can spend at the concert is 4 hours. Remember, the maximum refers to the highest or the most highest time they can spend. So the most highest time that they can spend there is therefore 4 hours. Let's move to the last question. Plot the graph to represent the relationship between the entrance fee and the hours spent at the festival. Remember, we said if they are at the festival for 1 hour, they will pay 900 rand. 2 hours, it's still 900 rand. 3 hours is still 900 rand. And 4 hours is still 900 rand. Therefore, remember, these are just the coordinates. So we need to join these points and we have our graph. Our graph cannot exceed 4 hours. Remember, mainly because 4 hours is the time that can be spent at the concert. So this is the end of the first section of the constant relationship. I hope you saw that the constant relationship means that the independent variables are the ones which are increasing. You can see that it is increasing. But the dependent remains constant. It does not change. So this is the easiest of them all. Can we have a short break? I will see you right after the break.